Weird start to the vlog today. Ordered something online last Friday. Supposed to ship and be here today. Came home to receive the package. Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting for it. Hopefully it arrives soon. Kind of a gloomy day today. It's like 37 degrees, maybe 35 even. Wet in April, end of April. What's today? 12:09 on April 29th. No sign of the delivery truck yet. Alright, first things first, now that it's dry out, let's wash this dirty thing. Look at how dirty this is. Look at this. That's me just touching it. Oh. So what happens when the car travels 3 days, maybe more, across the country from California. Let's change that. So first is gonna be a cold start. Alright, let's do a quick before. Damn, looks so good. I love the rear view. I don't even know how to describe this. It looks good. It needs a wing at some point. Maybe later. I gotta say the back of the car was the worst because it was on the back of the semi, so it collected all the dirt from the back sort of, so there's like a bunch of sand on here, so I had to like rinse it first a few days ago when I got it, but now I need to really be thorough and wash it up. Alright, since we have a little bit of sun still, let's take a quick peek what it looks like. So usually I have a special towel to dry it off, and I have not bought that yet. I have been just washing my cars in car washes rather than by hand for last, I don't know how many years, 3-4 years. Unfortunately, maybe once a year I'll wash it, but I still don't have that special towel. I even forgot what it's called. It's like has like this oil in it. It's like beige. Anyway, so that's perfect actually to dry it off right now. But anyway, that's what it looks like. I tried to shoot the first B-roll of the car. Hopefully that turned out. You let me know if it was any good. Anyway, hopefully we'll get our documents soon here, so we can actually go for a drive. But for now, he's going in the garage to where it's dry, because I think it's gonna rain again tomorrow. Okay, good for now. So here's the story about this new BRZ that I got. I cannot register it yet because we don't have the MSO from California. The car was bought in California and got shipped here in about 3 days. Received it on Monday. Went to DMV, had all the documents beside the MSO, which is manufacturing. What is it? Anyway, this is a document that shows that the car is like legal or whatever. So it's like a pre-title kind of a document. It's not needed, I guess, in California when you sell a car in California, but if it's moved to another state needs it, obviously, to start the title. So I'm in communication right now with the dealership to get the title here. I really hope that it's gonna get here soon enough so I can actually do anything with this car, because right now it's just sitting here like it's on a dealer's lot. I did not put a mile on it. Once it got delivered to my driveway, it really much stayed here. I put it in the garage, washed it. That's it. That's all I can do with it for now. So while I'm waiting on that, just kind of learning some things and researching some videos of what people do with these cars, so I'm ready once it's ready to be registered. As soon as it's ready to be registered, this is gonna be my daily driver. I want to put 1,000 miles on it to break it in and then start doing something with it. I wanted to be kind of a development car. I wanted to be this is actually the first rear-wheel drive car that I've owned beside the car that I learned to drive on back in the days in Ukraine. It was a Lada. It was a 21011 model, white. I'll post a picture right here. That's exactly what it was. And that was a rear-wheel drive 1.3 liter, I think. So ever since then, my dad had front-wheel drive car. It was a Ford Sierra, I think. It's a European market car. I think it used to be like a Mercury in America for a period of time. And then once we moved to America, we had a Dodge Neon, which is a front-wheel drive. We also had a minivan, which was a front-wheel drive. Then I jumped into an STI right away. That was after I graduated college, and that was the platform that I really wanted, and there was no other car that I wanted more than that, and I got it. Obviously, my race car. It's still my race car. Originally, it was my daily driver. I drove it daily in every single snowstorm, every single day of the year. For 7 years, and then I decided to make it a track car. I was actually right before GT Academy, and then the engine blew up in it. I did do GT Academy in 2015 and then sent it off to RS Motors to get the engine built. So that's where the built engine came from. Anyway, so that car since 2015 did not see any winter, so it's been a strict race car, and sometimes in the summer a weekend car. Anyway, so that was a all-wheel drive car. And then we have, my wife has this, which is a front-wheel drive Civic Si, which it's a front-wheel drive model. I also have a 2003 WRX, which is also all-wheel drive. That was originally my brother-in-law's car that I bought off of him in 2014, I think. Became my daily driver, still my daily driver, still all-wheel drive car. Obviously, I have a truck now. It's a rear-wheel drive, sure, but it's not like a sports car rear-wheel drive. Anyway, this is my first rear-wheel drive car, and not like I don't know how to drive the rear-wheel drive cars. Like, I've driven different race cars that are rear-wheel drive and other cars that are rear-wheel drive, and obviously in simulator I've driven it a million times as well. But anyway, for my own sake, I wanted to perfect my driving skills and have a platform that is rear-wheel drive. I want to start this project from pretty much bare bones. Obviously it could have been even more bare bones had I not had a version with Brembo brakes in it, but that's how I like it. I know those Brembo brakes are awesome because they are like the same thing that my STI has, and on this car they should work even better, obviously, because it's a lighter car. On the STI my brakes are 2-piece and the most aggressive pad that you can get, and I still think in time attack it's not enough for me. Eventually those brakes are going to be upgraded to a 6-piston calipers, but I think it's not going to be this year, or maybe not even next year, because I decided that this is going to be my primary concern or primary attention getter, so to speak. So I'm going to try to, I don't know, not per se develop this, but I want to get a benchmark on the track in a stock form, or as stock as it gets, and then kind of build up from there. So I want to see how it progresses. I don't want to just go to YouTube and see what the best guy did to this car and go with that and start, you know, doing crazy laps, which I could have done, but I don't want to miss out on the experience of actually developing it step by step. So as I'm thinking right now, the very first thing to do with this car is obviously just to break it in. I want to get 1,000 miles on it, drive it around, not do anything crazy once that hits. I'm going to change oil. The first step probably before tracking it, and otherwise, you know, change the oil to maybe something more aggressive. I know these cars overheat if you do push them too much. I don't know if that's going to be necessary for stock power levels, stock tire levels, but I want to try it with stock brake, with stock tires, stock power obviously, and everything, and just kind of seeing how good can it be that way. Looking at what other people are doing with these cars, eventually I can see myself, you know, putting an oil cooler, and obviously I'm gonna monitor the oil temperatures while I'm on track and seeing how necessary it is to do that. I'm assuming that it's gonna be pretty necessary. And then eventually the 215s that are on there will have to morph into 255s. So I guess it is possible to fit those in there. I think the thing to do is obviously to put coilovers on it, get cambered in here, and then in order to get camber in the back you'll have to put the upper arms there. That's going to be one of the steps in the future to get that car the grip better and obviously be actually more competitive, because in this form I understand it's not going to be the winner of any autocrosses that are competitive or any track events that are competitive, but I want to make sure that I know how the car develops and take each step, learn it for myself. I don't want to skip any steps. Anyways, looks like a really big babble video. Let me show a few little minor details that this car has compared to it's really weird, little bump right here, if you can see right there. You see that? Like it's like right on the lens, and I thought it was like a defect, but it's exactly the same on this lens too. So I cannot imagine this being a right there. What the heck is that? I mean, so since it's like exactly identical, it must be something that they're designed that way. So anyway, but a couple of little hints that this BRZ has that I know other BRZs don't have is this little logo here, and then obviously your badge, the brakes. Obviously there's been a million videos talking about what the differences of the TS model to a regular model or whatever premium or limited is. So it's basically a limited model with all the bells that one has, the lights that are turning as you turn the wheel, and Alcantara seats and stuff like that. So there's also Alcantara on the side here, which is really nice touch. Little bit of leather here. The TS also has this blue leather pieces and underneath the perforations, and all the stitching around the wheel and the shift knob are also in blue. That's kind of the difference, really. As far as suspension upgrades that it has, I wouldn't know how much of an upgrade it is. I think there's a kind of a two-way whatever suspension thingy in the front and one way in the back, which is maybe different than the limited model, but the spring rates are the same. So I don't know how much of a difference that will be from a regular base or premium or your limited model.
it may not be much at all. And honestly, it's gonna stay on the car for so long. Eventually, maybe not this year, but eventually in developmental cycle, the coilovers are gonna be changed, as I said before. The tires will gonna be bigger, and that will be that. Let's see what else I can say about the car. All right, some little touches that I do like on the car are the tail lights. I think the design is actually pretty cool. The fact that it's kind of 3D, so it's not like just a flat surface, it just kind of goes in. I really like that. I like that it's kind of swishes like this on the back, just kind of helps the aerodynamics or whatever. These little, I don't know if you call them canards or what the heck are they. You can see right here. They're kind of neat. I don't know if they help aerodynamics, but I don't know how much can they be helping. It's interesting that, the ducktail, they say the ducktails it's a ducktail. However, it doesn't have like an extra ducktail, so to speak, that GR86s have. So I don't know if it affects aerodynamics. I guess we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll talk to some other BRZ or GR86 owners that have that, see if they see any difference with that. I don't know if that's really the key for aerodynamics, but otherwise, this particular car has no options on it. It's a TS trim, but it has absolutely no options at all. No, mats, no mirrors, no nothing. It's absolutely the cheapest, I guess you can get it. The cheapest of them without any options. And that's kind of how I wanted it. I think people were saying that somehow it's still more expensive than GR86. However, that's actually not true. I know if you go to Toyota website, you can build the GR86 with performance package that will have the upgraded shocks and upgraded brakes. However, when I looked on AutoTrader, there's a lot of GR86s on lots, and not a single one of them has that package, unless it's whatever that model is. Unless it's like this limited model, that whatever they call it, that's only 800 units, that comes only in white and red and has stripes on it. That's the only one that has the premium brakes and the suspension upgrades, but that is actually not cheaper at the dealerships. I really don't know if it's just a markup or what, but they're really not cheaper. In any case, when I was looking at this car, it was much harder to find than the GR86. GR86s, I think there was thousands of them in the country available to buy, while BRZs in general were only like less than 100 of them in the country, and even rarer were in black color. It was like 12 of them, and this was actually the last one that I saw in TS trim that is black. The very last one. So the reason why I'm buying a car from California and not from Minnesota is because, one, Minnesota dealers could not order it for me. I asked around, and for some reason, unless they get an allocation of some sort and they know that week that they can order it, they can't order it otherwise. So it's not an easily orderable car compared to probably the base or premium or limited model. It has to be allocated to the dealer. You could not order it in Minnesota, and there was only 2 places that had them. It was in New Hampshire and California. The 2 dealerships are called New Hampshire. He said that it was already sold, and he might get a couple more by June or something like that. I took his word, took his information, and decided to call the California dealer, which said that it's still there. So I jumped on it. It obviously got delivered. It's right here. I got all the paperwork beside the one that I need to register the car. That's the only thing I'm waiting on, and hopefully that gets here soon and we can actually start having fun in this. So sorry for the long babbling video, but this is kind of what I wanted to make about it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. You enjoyed the delivery in the beginning of it, and hopefully the next one will be of us actually driving it. So stay tuned.